Greetings and welcome to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. I am Reverend Rodney Gittens, and I'm here today as we are here every Sunday, bringing you the best and the brightest of the spiritual awareness and teaching, the understanding, all of the good that befits you, that works well for you. So. We're going to start with our opening song, Choosing Heaven. And as always, please remember to type into the comments what you're choosing for yourself. And because you're choosing it for yourself, you're choosing it for all. And also, that what you choose, you put into the comments, will be used in the opening prayer. So that is just a wonderful way to get started with our day. So good afternoon, good day. And it's time for Choosing Heaven today. Greetings again. Yes, choosing heaven, choosing what your life looks like on a moment by moment basis. How wonderful it is to know that you have that power to make that choice, to choose what heaven looks like for you and for your world. So at this time, we want to welcome each and every one to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. And we do so with talking about our mission and our vision. And our mission is most certain. Listen, we're talking today about peace, about negotiating peace, conflict reconciliation, transformation, and we know that it starts from within. And our mission is to provide a place of peace, a stable and welcoming community for all who choose to learn, practice, grow, and play in the unfolding of their understanding of spiritual principle and spiritual living, because that's what it's about. And also, we envision the world as a sacred environment where spiritual living flourishes through the continued growth and development and the learning of uh, and the application of spiritual principles. Okay, so that's really what it's about. And listen, isn't that a great way to live in peace with yourself and all others? To be in a sacred environment where you're learning and applying spiritual principles. And so, One Love Center practices compassion in service, love in action, and joyous, prosperous giving in the community. Also, our community has been lovingly created as a place of fellowship, meditation, prayer, sacred and healing service, musical celebration, classes, workshops, and spiritual films. And we welcome everyone. And we welcome you. And in doing so, I like to say, and this takes in everybody everywhere who's showing up at any time. Maybe you're watching the recording or you're watching us live. We recognize the splendor of the infinite divine spirit that is you. And please know that we support you in being the best that you choose to be in this glorious life. And we thank you for celebrating spirit with us today. Welcome to One Love Center. Welcome to a place where love grows. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So at this time, we're going to talk about I'm going to introduce our guest today. She's been with us before, and she's here and now, and she's a guest, Reverend Madeline Katz, who is also a religious science practitioner and a wonderful dear friend. And she's going to do the opening prayer, our evocation, evoking the word of the divine within for us, for the center, for the world. And take it away, Rev Madeline.
Thank you so much, Rev Rodney. Just, it's an honor and a privilege to be here, to be with you all, and just want to take a moment to notice our breath, to notice that without any effort, this breath that sustains us just flows in, awakening us to love, and flows out, letting go of any bit of tension, concern. There's one wonderful teacher, ancient teacher Rumi, who says, close your eyes, fall in love, stay there. So we close our eyes to just focus on the internal, knowing that it is the internal that creates the external. And even when we're out and about, knowing that that's the background, that loving presence is never absent. And knowing this, understanding this, and living from this place of absolute confidence that we can never be separate from this creative spirit, from this God which created us as individualizations of itself to experience something wonderful right now in this moment. And staying centered in this moment, we are moved by the inspiration that is beyond our knowledge from this repository of wisdom and the opening to something more wonderful than has ever gone before. It is guaranteed by your knowing this connection from spirit to spirit, working through you, as you, for the highest and best, and knowing that is the environment of love, of all things are possible. And as Reverend Rodney said at the beginning, choosing. Right now, all the power of choice is with you. So right now, let's take a moment and let go of any kind of block that comes up as we try to choose. As we choose, and some voice may come up saying, nah, you're too old, you don't have the... Let go of that voice. That's the ego. And just allow it to dribble away and know that you are the thinker in your mind, you are the power in your life, and choose the highest and best. This is the truth. You are that power. And right now, you open to it more fully and express it moment by moment, right here, right now, with total and complete support of the power that created the universe, that you can never be separate from. With gratitude and confidence beyond any we have known before, we say, and now it is, and so it is. Thanks and love.
Yes, indeed. And now it is, and so it is. And thank you, Reverend Madeline, for getting us all prayed up and prayed in. Thank you so much. And what you experience is prayer, not just any kind of prayer. It's positive prayer. It's uplifting prayer. It's affirmative prayer. And you experience affirmation of knowing the truth about who we are and what we choose, choosing heaven, choosing life, choosing the upper room of life, elevated consciousness of life. Thank you. And that's what we do. We are prayer professionals here at One Love Center. And we are knowing that spirit, and is always ready, charged and already within you for your immediate use. And we are ready, willing, and able. So contact us. You see the ticker on the bottom. If you have a prayer request, send it in by email to oneLove@onelovecenter.org, or you can call, leave a message at 844-295-5155. And please know that all your prayer requests are kept in the strictest of confidence. And if you need more in-depth time, you can use that information, and we can set up a practitioner session where we will go deeper within. And as you heard Reverend Madeline talk about, we will get to that upper reaches of consciousness to get to whatever the issue is that may seemingly be blocking or stopping, the good that you desire. That is yours. So use us, like the song says, use me, use us. And we will most certainly assist you. And when you make a prayer request, we'll pray on whatever situation that is for 7 days. So let us know when that prayer has been answered. And if it has not been answered, let us know. We will continue to pray on it. All right. So thank you so much. We are so grateful to have you back, Reverend Madeline. And we have and if her screen seems blurry. That's just her high energy output. The computer can't handle it. It's like I'm trying to contain your image. So, we just know that she is with us and she's doing her best to stay in corporal form so that, because otherwise she's just like this angel could be anywhere at any time. So, the computer is doing its best to contain your divine image. So,
Oh, thank you, Rev Rod.
you're welcome. Because she tried to fix the computer, but it can't handle it. It's like, no, you can't, just can't conform to your elevatedness. So that's okay. So we thank you for being with us. And today we're talking about peace, not just peace, because that's an easy conversation. We're talking about how peace manifests in our life, and that's by negotiating peace. We talked at the beginning of the month about, preparing ourselves, having set up borders for ourselves, for our safety and for our, greater ability, for our greater ability to be present and available, not just for ourselves, but for each one. And by setting up borders, we're able to honor and respect each one. And I just don't mean borders as in barriers, but in ways that we can respect ourselves and respect other people. And so now that comes up, and it's interesting because in negotiating peace, conflict, reconciliation, and transformation, it's interesting that if you think on a worldwide basis, anytime I think of negotiating peace, I think of like the Christmas holiday, all these big holy religious holidays. And what do? They negotiate peace, right? They have a ceasefire. They have peace. Like, so wait a minute, what's the problem? You can do this at any time. Why do you have to wait for a specific holiday to all of a sudden have peace? To negotiate peace. If you did it before, you can do it all the time. So, that comes up for me. However, I do know that it seems, I can't say I know. However, I will say that what comes up for me is that the people who are actually waging war, are the ones who need to work on themselves. It's like we're doing it for the people. No, you need to do it for yourselves. You're the ones in the room. We're not there. We're not. Dropping bombs on each other. You guys are the one that's dropping bombs on us. So anyway, that's as political as it's going to get. However, what we're talking about is in ways that we individually can negotiate peace first and foremost within ourselves, and then in our immediate world and the world at large. And so that's kind of like what we're getting into today. Dr. Martin Luther King distinguished between negative and positive peace, offering a profound perspective on conflict resolution and societal change. He said negative peace refers to the mere absence of violence or conflict, a situation that tensions might be suppressed, like, when there's a holiday and it's just temporary. But underlying issues remain unaddressed. And so this form of peace is fragile, can be fragile. It does not necessarily resolve the root causes of discord or injustice. It's a state where problems are temporarily quieted but not resolved. And that's usually what seems to happen in a lot, even in our personal lives. So, Rev Madeline, and I do want to also add that I want to you to mention exactly the other activity that you're involved in when it comes to being settled in our own skin. So, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Reverend Rodney. Yes, the on Saturdays, two people you know very well, Kristen and Vincent, who were our musicians 20 years ago, at the center, and I do a practice called releasing. And releasing is simply allowing whatever's appearing to be there, not fighting it, that non resistance, accepting it and allowing it, but not identifying with these transient thoughts and feelings which come and go, but observing, witnessing, and letting it be. And in that space of allowing, things just disappear, they float away when you're not, what do we say? What we resist persists.
Mm-hmm.
So it's practicing that and opening to, as we do in science of mind, religious science, all things are possible, but it's clearing the way, giving you that opening to allow and experience better than the best.
Absolutely. And in doing so, we create an inner peace, which is our ability to connect with the inner peace that influence our external reality, which
Yes.
includes internal conflict. So we're going to bring up a quote, and then we'll talk about what that brings up. It says vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. It requires us to be present and engage with others in a meaningful way, which is crucial for conflict resolution. This is from Brene Brown. Daring greatly how the courage to be vulnerable transforms the way we live, love, parent, and lead. And to be vulnerable is not a weakness. It says it's the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. And so that obviously is not a place of weakness. It's a place of knowing, it's a place of trusting. It's a place where, I have my boundaries set up, because I know, hey, if I'm vulnerable, that means, I'm open. All right. However, that recognition, that awareness, that admission is a source of strength. And because of that, we get to become innovative and creative and be open to and participate in change. So do you want to speak to that, Rev Madeline?
Yes, indeed. Beautifully said. Beautifully said, Rev Rod. Yeah, we have these self-created personalities, that we've used to adapt in the world, and full of defense mechanisms, full of uh, oh conclusions, full of ideas of how it's got to be. But when we reach the point of vulnerability, we're saying something new. We're
Mhm.
saying, let our little selves get out of the way, and allow this wisdom. We talk about surrender, and surrender to many people means giving up. But in
Mm,
vulnerability, we're giving over. We're
mm.
allowing this higher self, inner self, higher wisdom, awareness to guide us, to be completely open. That's courage. That's courage.
Absolutely. And thank you for that. And
Yes.
it's interesting because, in my 12-step work that, which I'm so grateful that that brought me into new thought, into a new way of thinking, and most certainly a new way of living. Uh,
Yes.
One of the big components of recovering our true self, being aware of much of who we didn't even know ourselves to be, that kind of recovery. It's more like uncovering and discovering. One of the most important components of the process is forgiveness. And yes, we have to be vulnerable for forgiveness, because if we're so uptight and we have the kind of barriers that keep like love from flowing, that's not so much of a boundary, but it's a barrier. Then we're not going to actually be practicing loving actions. So, and we have a quote about forgiveness. I'd like to bring that up because that's an essential part of peace as well. It says, "Forgiveness It's giving up all hope of a better past. It's letting go and making the choice to find peace and understanding in the present moment, which is essential for resolving conflicts. That's Jack Cornfield. The Art of Forgiveness, Loving Kindness and Peace, page 96. And so, would you like to speak to that first?
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful quote from a very wise man. And forgiveness is, in fact, letting go of everything except this present moment. There is nothing we can, one of the oh, techniques I use and has been taught to me is breathing. You can't breathe in the past or in the future. You can only breathe in this moment because this moment is the only reality. So, any sense of whatever seems to be haunting from the past, any what you'd rather it have had been, is just futile. It just doesn't make sense. Uh, and in this moment, well, I think the Bible says putting on the new man,
Mm,
letting go of the old. And the more we can completely live in this moment with full awareness, the more we are present to open for the good. Those, whatever kind of, sometimes I see it as bugs. Oh, but what about what you did in 1976? You know, no big deal. Turning away, looking to the fields that are already present and ready for harvest.
mm-hmm.
It's a choice, like Rev Rod told us at the beginning, choosing. We are always fixed in choice.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And forgiveness is so special because what we need to remember is to forgive ourselves first. And I love how in A Course of Miracles it says, the only thing to forgive is the belief that you have something to forgive. It's like the actual harm that we think that we did was really we did to ourselves, believing that we could somehow harm the spirit that is everywhere and the spirit that is in each and every one. Yes, like you mentioned, our egos, those such fragile things, they get defensive and then they want to make up stuff and then they want to defend themselves. And once we forgive ourselves, we become vulnerable enough to forgive ourselves and realize that that's a strength. I'm not going to die from saying I apologize, to myself and then to all others, because when we do that, that's the reconciliation process. It's so funny. It reminds me of when couples, like a married couple or whatever, they argue and they fuss and they fight, and then they make up, and then it seems like they argue, fuss, and fight on purpose so they can make up. It's like, they just can't wait to get to the makeup part, and that's like the joy of peace and reconciliation, and also it has to do with, um, I think I heard you mention understanding. That's the key to end suffering is understanding. Oh, I can't remember the author right now. He was I think he was a prisoner. I can't. His name is just right there. Um, but he was a Holocaust uh, survivor, and he was big on forgiveness and understanding. The name just escapes me in a moment.
Ellie
However,
Wiesel?
say it again,
Wiesel?
please.
Is it Ellie Wiesel?
Oh no, no, no.
No? Okay.
But anyway, he's saying that the key to suffering is understanding. And once you understand, you no longer have to suffer. And there's also a statement that says um, that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. You know, um, and peace is eternal. Peace, there's always peace. What happens is if we don't have the understanding, we think that there needs to be conflict and strife, then we create that. But peace is just waiting for us to be still, and then there's automatically peace. It's there. It's not like we got to go get peace, it's always ready and available. And so let's move to the next quote. Would you read that one, please, if you're able
Sure.
to see it? Uh-huh.
Yes. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. Yeah. Yeah. And there is something also in Science of Mind, which Ernest Holmes said,
Mhm.
peace is at the center of everything. And I remember working with a client years ago who was in the midst of trying to control her son and his activities and the outcome of his activities. And when we do this from a place of force, we're exerting energy that just is blowing into the wind.
Mhm.
But when we become, as Rev Rod said before, peaceful in ourselves, forgiving in ourselves, we come from a place of wisdom, of understanding. And very often, there's a story that one great healing teacher tells of a Native American who was in the Second World War, and being he was strapped down, and his uh, the soldier guarding him was feeding him worms, and it was a vision that he couldn't let go of, this hatred. And many years later, he found out and had a chance to confront and speak to this particular man who was keeping him prisoner. And he said, that was the only way I could keep you alive.
Mm.
So here, this awful experience was actually for his own good. And I think there's also somebody, good old Uncle Albert, has come to a lot, and he has said that imagination, inspiration is much more important than knowledge,
Mm.
because from inspiration, we get understanding. We're not locked in a battle with anything. It's from that place of freedom that we can forgive ourselves and others and move on. And it's a wonderful, wonderful quote. Thank you, Rev Rod.
Oh, you're so welcome, man. And it's interesting because when I see that that peace cannot be kept by force, I think of the UN, the the peacekeeping force. It's like you know armored trucks and cars, and the military are going to like keep the peace. And I think all it does is antagonizes people, instigates more, or daring people not to be peaceful. uh, so it's pretty interesting how there are people who still think that that's the way to have peace, is by forcing it on people. So thank you for leading us in that. Nelson Mandela has a great quote. It says, "All conflicts are capable of peaceful resolution," and I love the example of a parent with a child, because the more a parent tries to like control a child, the more they just want to break loose. It's like we could, I mean, spankings, which were considered capital punishment, as a way of it was just temporary. It didn't solve whatever the issue was. It was just trying to control someone, and there are parental guidelines, not necessarily guidelines, but different ways of managing themselves, a parent to manage themselves in more peaceful manners. I mean, yes, you can exhibit anger, but not lash out in anger. Not create a greater conflict. Because I know when I was being punished, uh, it didn't stop me from doing things that I was doing. I just thought I'd have to be better at hiding what I was doing. So, also, it only created resentment.
Yes.
It didn't create like, okay, I surrender, peace now for the rest of my life. I'll do everything you say. No, that's not where. That's not that wasn't the outcome. So we just have to be really careful in allowing ourselves to understand. Oh, the thing about inspiration and the root word inspire, and the root of that is Latin, and it means breath. So the word spirit and inspire, they're all related, and it really means breath. And so when we think of that, we are all breathing. We're all breathing the same air. We're breathing the same from the same place of consciousness, and in that alone, to me, inspires understanding, inspires peace. The breath of peace, the breath of understanding, the breath of love, the inspiration of love. So anyway, I believe we have another quote to share before we can move into the next. It says, even the best of friends face conflicts, but that doesn't mean the end of the relationship. And that's an anonymous quote. And that is so important because even the best of friends, so it means you don't even have to be a best of friend, but even the best of friends face conflicts. But it doesn't mean the end of the relationship. And I mean, I can think for myself when I was much younger, um, I used to run from conflict. I didn't like it. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to handle my feelings, thoughts, emotions, beliefs. And I figured, well, let's let me not, not be in any kind of conflict. And if there was, I had no coping mechanisms to deal with it. So that just meant end of the relationship. Nope, not going to work. you know. And and I know that we think about how it works with countries, and it seems too easy for people to drop bombs on each other. And that ends a lot of relationships, especially like what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. You have family, fighting against each other. We had a civil war in this country or any country. You know, that's ending relationships. Did you want to add to that?
That was beautiful, beautiful, and it's so true. Uh, but it's a question of evolution. And
Mm-hmm.
as we evolve spiritually, there are things that I could not, same as you, Rodney, could not deal with as a child, and it was over. That was the end. Uh, there is a principle, though, that everything, I think you'll get this in the 12-step program. One of my 12-step friends taught it to me. Everything is for my good.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is for my growth. So when you're coming from that perspective, which science of mind allows you to do, you open to what's the good in this? What can come out of this? How can this be altered for the peace, a peaceful resolution? And it's amazing because that's all ego stuff. It's like, when we're crawling around or when we're 2 year olds having, tantrums, uh, to get locked out of that, to move into openness to the other person and what their reality is, which was the understanding of the previous quote. What's going on with them? And can I be open to accept that? Accept just as they are, accept myself as I am.
Mm-hmm.
Openness. Yep. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you. And Mahatma Gandhi has a great quote, and this, I was alluding to that earlier. He says, "There is no way to peace. There is only peace." Yeah, and I love that because it
Yes.
gets our mind set on there's only peace. You know, I don't have to look for it. They don't have to get it. You know, don't have to fight for it. It's already here. It's already there. You know,
Yep.
and yeah,
Yep.
and
At the
there's
time. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, that again is in science of mind. When you let go, uh, peace is there. It's at the core of everything. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
And
And
I,
there's
sorry,
yeah, yeah.
I got
Uh-huh.
excited also because remembering Nelson Mandela.
Mhm.
Uh, Look at what the man went through. You know, there's a great example of all of the challenges leading to someone with his wisdom, love, power after so much adversity.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
thank you.
Absolutely. And even though he was imprisoned, his captors, his jailers, uh, loved him, and went through great, inner turmoil. You know, when he was released, they were crying and they were like, uh, you know, happy for him, you know. But there's another quote. It says, "Peace begins when expectation ends," and that is so powerful. Sri Chinmoy, and I think about on a personal level when I have expectations, uh, whether they're realistic or not. There is some turmoil going on within me, like doubt and fear and worry, and I'm not in a state of peace when I'm not, like as we talked about earlier, in a place of stillness, a place of understanding, a place of allowing, and as you mentioned, of releasing. Yeah. Yeah. Any quick comment on that?
Yep. Well, you said it beautifully. And uh, when we're living in expectation, we're not living in the present moment.
Mhm.
And when we are totally aligned with the present moment, there's a sense of trusting without an expectation that it's got to be this way or that way. And that's freedom. That's freedom to allow life to unfold
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
trust.
absolutely. And bring up that last quote, please. And this is by River Phoenix, who has a wonderful foundation promoting peace and reconciliation. He says, "Run to the rescue with love, and peace will follow." I love that. It's pretty much to me it says, "Run with love, and peace will follow." But yeah, run to the rescue with love, and peace will follow. And it's just really powerful that I don't think we can run with anything else.
Yeah.
Because peace is always there. Peace is there in the front as well. But we have to do it with love, and doing it with love is part of the reconciliation process. So it's not enough for us to set boundaries. That's a good part of it. That's a good practice. And our personal work, our releasing work, our prayer, meditation, all that we do. But it also means we have to be active listeners. We have to be open, adaptable, willing participants in realizing peace. I don't want to just say creating peace, but realizing peace, because peace is there. We've already kind of discussed that. Um, and supporting peace initiatives to reveal peace. Wherever we can. It's like it reminds me of uh, not like being against, not being against anything, but taking a stand for
Yes.
peace. Not being
Yes.
against war, but taking a stand for peace.
Yes.
Things of that nature. So anyway, we have some affirmations to assist ourselves. That's one of the other things that we can do is use positive affirmations to bring about the mindset and therefore, the right words to use and the right actions to follow. And so I'll start it off, and I invite each one to take a breath. And this is what we do for each affirmation. I invite you to take a breath and repeat. It is so that peace on earth begins with me. And we do it twice, taking a breath. It is so that peace on earth begins with
Begins
me.
with me.
Rev Madeline, you do the next one.
It is so that with empathy and open communication, I heal through conflict and move toward lasting peace.
Hmm.
So we'll take a moment and then together. It is so that with empathy and open communication, I heal through conflict and move toward lasting peace.
Thank you. And I'll do the last one. Take a breath, everyone. It is so that by focusing on self awareness, forgiveness, empathy, and compassion, I foster inner peace, inspiring others and creating a ripple effect of harmony. Just take a breath and read that again. It is so that by focusing on self awareness, forgiveness, empathy, and compassion, I foster inner peace, inspiring others and creating a ripple effect of harmony. It is so, and so it is, and now it is.
Great. Wonderful.
All right. So at this time, I'm going to do a brief grounding prayer, affirmative prayer, and we'll bring you back in just a moment, Rev Madeline. Okay. So I invite each one to join me as we go within, deeper within, which is even deeper higher, because we are in this rising consciousness of awareness, knowing this truth, knowing that this truth is there's only one. There's only one life. That life is God's life, or whatever name you choose to use for that higher power, that infinite indwelling and totally omnipotent, omnipresent power, presence, omnipresent, knowing that that is the peace. That is the serenity, is the serene energy, knowing that since God is all there is, it really, in fact, has no issue with itself. And as creations of the Creator, we take this example and know that we are one. We are ones of the one. And so therefore, there is no issue. We are knowing that anything that seems to come up that would create conflict is only out of fear and doubt and worry and missed beliefs and missed truth. Missed the truth. The truth is there is enough for all, that we get to work together, live together, play together. We get to harmonize in knowing that all our needs get to be met as we help one another, as we help ourselves and help one another in the living truth that there's only one. And so I am knowing this is true with our health. This is true in our relationships. This is true in our relationship with health, our relationship with money, our relationship with each other, knowing that we are all in it for each other, not to take away, not to harm, not for conflict, but to work and live and play in harmony, in joy, running to the rescue with love, and realizing that peace is before us, is on all sides of us, is behind us, above us, because it is within us, waiting to express, waiting to be revealed, ready to be used for the higher purpose of our greater good. And so I know that this is the truth, as it is already being done from the mind of God, which already knows it already knows what it's all about, what it is here about, and using the law of divine right action, that these words spoken into the law are already bringing it into effect in wonderful, peaceful, harmonious ways. And so I give thanks for knowing that this is so. I give thanks for being able to release it into the law that knows what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And so there's nothing left more for this uplifting prayer to say it is so, unfolding perfectly and easily right here and right now. And now it is. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just beautiful.
Yes, yes. So we do want to mention, as we're giving thanks, we give thanks to be able to do affirmative prayer for people. Um, whether you have used this before or not, please feel free to contact us for prayer support. You can send an email to onelovecenter.org. You can call 844-295-5155. Your prayer requests are kept in the strictest of confidence. And use us for that. We also give thanks for those who have been supporting us financially. We're grateful for your donations. And if you would like to continue or start, maybe even for the first time, go to our website at onelovecenter.org and you click on donation. You can send it through PayPal or whatever means that you find available for you. You can also use the Cash Me app, which is $OneLoveCSL. And we thank you in advance. And we have some affirmations of abundance to assist with your receiving and your giving. And it goes like this. Put your hand over your heart if you like. If you feel that cosmic vibration that is centered within, that is expressing outwardly, and just feel that as you repeat the affirmation. And it says, money, as one of many gifts of spirit, is good. And as I share my offerings, I know that I am actively creating a space to receive more gift, more money, and more good. And I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good work these gifts do in our center and in our world. And now it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we do have some quick announcements. We're going to start off first with Madeline. Again, tell us about the releasing.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
The goal of releasing is to be free. That freedom is the most important thing. And once you're free from the noise in your mind, that's the greatest prison. And when you go free from that, you open to all the goodness there is. And it's a technique that really, really goes well with science of mind. It prepares you to just be without the trappings of ego and history and concerns. When we know, there's a saying, when you go within, you'll never go without. That's what happens. I also would like to say, remind that that wonderful teacher, Ramana Maharshi, as we talk about conflict and resolution, he was asked, what about the other? We talk about coming to peace in ourselves. And Maharshi answered, there is no other.
Mm-hmm.
When we learn that when we're not attached to our ego, we are all this God force, and that in, excludes all our differences.
Mm-hmm.
That's the place where we are one love.
Yes,
Thanks.
indeed. Thank you for that. Thank you for
Yeah,
adding that. Yes, and we want to thank Lita Perez for behind the
yes.
scenes today. Oh, there she is. Hi, Lita.
Beautiful,
Thank you for your
beautiful,
technical
beautiful
assistance
goddess.
in managing the broadcast, and she could use some help. So it's not all on her. The one you can email us at one love at onelovecenter.org, or you can call again at 844-295-5155 to be of service. Bless you and thank you. And we have a great convention coming up, Centers for Spiritual Living Convention of the Americas at Chapala, Mexico, July 22nd to 26th. You can connect with Ellen Suazo, and you can start a payment plan. And the payment plan can go from now until December if you needed to. So wherever are you going to find a convention that's offering something like that? So also, we have Beyond Limits. We're looking to start a class. It's so think about moving beyond limiting beliefs. And if you don't think that you have any limiting beliefs, then that could be a limiting belief. So, email us. Let us know your intention, or go to our website onelovecenter.org/events. Look for an email and let us know that you'd like to take a Beyond Limits class. Okay, so thank you all for participating, and we have some closing remarks. Anything else that you'd like to share, Rev Madeline?
Just that it's always a blessing to be in this community, and thanks for your wisdom and leadership and commitment. You blow me away, Rev Rod. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rev Madeline, because you are certainly an early inspiration for me at our time with Creative Light. So, right back at you. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone. I know we had Ellen watching, and I apologize if I didn't see anybody else. I did see someone in the very beginning. Oh, Star Reed. Oh my goodness. Hey. Hi, Star. She's definitely a practitioner, a powerful practitioner. Welcome. I'm glad you were joining us today. And I know there was somebody else. I'm sorry if I didn't catch it, but thank you. Thank you all. And thank you who will be watching us, watching the recording and in our future dates. So we're going to close with our closing prayer, our benediction. We're benedicting out of here. However, we have a great song video that I'm sure you're going to love and is most appropriate. So Madeline and I will close it out in prayer before the video. And so just knowing that there's only one power, one life, that life is good life. That life is a life of peace and harmony and goodwill and loving kindness. Oh, how wonderful it is to know that there is one mind that we are from and tap into, and the one heart. It is all the one love. Okay, there is nothing else. Anything else is an illusion, is a lie, and we no longer have to put our energies into conflict. We can live with respectful boundaries. We can live with honoring each and every one, that we're all here for the same thing, is to love and be loved. And I pass my word to Madeline.
And knowing and remembering to remember who you are and whose you are, whose you are. Yes, there is only one, and that one is pure goodness. And to have total confidence, absolute confidence in the good unfolding, to feel that divine embrace is ever for you, never against you, always going forward with better, never less. This is your destiny, your guarantee of glory, this life, this freedom, now, now, now. And so it is.
And so it is, and now it is. Thank you. Peace and blessings. We'll come back to say goodbye after the wonderful song.
Meditated Monday morning, I was feeling good. Then I cut a guy off on the freeway, he misunderstood. He gave me a sign before I knew it, I gave it right back. Next thing I know, I'm feeling like a homicidal maniac. Sunday I went to church, walked out on a cloud. I was feeling pretty special, all holier than thou. Ran into my ex at the market, wished I were dead. Next thing I know, I'm crying, spent the rest of the day in bed. If I want peace, gotta start where I am. And I want peace, now I understand that I've been waiting for someone to show me the promised land. Now I'm gonna stop and be what I see. Yeah, I'll be peace. Oh yeah, I'll be peace. Wednesday I woke up to a full day, had my list to do. Get my chakras balanced, Reiki, acupuncture too. Ran to my psychic reading, then massage and steaming sauna. Next thing I know, I'm way too tired to ever find nirvana. But if I want peace, gotta start where I am. And I want peace, now I understand that I've been waiting for someone to show me the promised land. And now I'm gonna stop and be what I see. Yeah, I'll be peace. Oh yeah, I'll be peace.
Everyone, everywhere, everything, every place, every time I was insane. Testing and testing, arresting and fretting, upsetting and stressing my brain. I can't abide, I try to hide, nowhere to go, and it just takes me lower and tighten my fright and lies that ignite. The only repose is to hold and go slower, so I take a minute to turn myself around, and then I take another to calm myself all the way down. I remember to breathe, I remember to feel the relief inside of me that never ever leaves me. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just peace. Alright.
You know I want a peace. It's gotta start where I am. And I want peace. I understand that I've been waiting for someone to show me the promised land. And now I'm gonna stop and be what I see. Yeah, I'll be peace. Whoa, yeah.
Did you like the tizzy?
I'll be peace.
Tizzy with the like the tizzy?
I'll be peace. Oh, 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 yeah.
Tizzy with the like the tizzy?
I'll be peace.
Yes, indeed. Be the peace. Be the peace that you already are. It's just a matter of claiming it and living it. So, peace and blessings. Thank you again, Rev Madeline. Look forward to having you again.
Beautiful. Wonderful to be here as always. Just
Thank you.
and that was a song I never heard. It was fabulous.
Yeah. Thank you,
Love
Melissa. Yes. All right. Okay. See you next week. Blessings, everyone.